So you're going away, right?
I'll be away, yes, starting on Sunday.
Midwest or?
No, North Carolina.
Where in North Carolina?
Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's nice.
it is nice. Yeah, that's my wife's family.
Are you driving or are you flying?
We are driving.
Ooh, that's a long drive. Isn't it like 8, 9 hours?
It's like 8 hours. Yeah, we're leaving 2 days.
Nice one in North Carolina.
Stop in DC.
That
It
is
should be.
very nice.
The Chapel Hill's really nice. I like going down there. It's a really nice place.
This is my better half, I don't even remember, it's my tease and Jackie. Jackie's on the committee with me
Oh, yes,
for ballot.
yes.
So we know for ballot.
My friend Eve, my daughter Dana, my son.
Martin.
I'm paying. Page 14 or 46?
I'm sorry, 14 or
46. Gale, 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 na. Uvros, uvros, ravivala. Et sukat, sukat, shlomecha. Higale, gale, gale, na. Uvros, uvros, gavivala. Et sukat, sukat, shlomecha. Higale, gale, gale, na. Uvros, uvros, gavivala. Et sukat, sukat, shlomecha. Higale, gale, gale, na. Uvros, uvros, gavivala. Et sukat, sukat, shlomecha. Lechu niranin al Adonai, nari al zor ishenu. Kadma fana bedora Bizmiro nari alo Arbaim shana good bedor V'omar amdoye levavel Ve'lo yadu derachai Asher nishbati b'yavim yavon el menuchati Shiru ladona, shir chada, shiru ladona, kol haaretz. Shiru ladona, yarchu shemo, asru miyom liyom yeshuato, zapru bagoyim gevodo v'chol ha'amim nifleotav ki gadol Adona ola ve'od norahu al kol Elohim kol Elohim avim elilim b'Adonai shamayim asa hod v'hadar lefanav v'tiveret במקדשו עבור לאדוני משפחות עמים עבור לאדוני כבוד ועוז עבור לאדוני גאות שמו שאו מנחה ובאו לחסרותי שכבו לאדוני והרת קודש חילו מפניו כל הארץ אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך הבטיחם תבל ועל ידין עמים במישרים ישמחו השמיים ודגל הארץ ירמיים לא יעלו שדי וכל אשר רואה אז ירננו כל הזה יער לפני אדוני גיבה לשפוט הארץ לשפוט אבל וצדק ועמים באמונתו coming out at 17 or 51. Or Zarul Tzadik Ulishvelev Simcha Simchu Tzadikim Badonai V'yodu lezecher Kosho Mizmor Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash Ki Niflahot Asa Hoshia Lo Yemino Ozro Ago חסדו ואמונתו לבית ישראל ראו כל עושי הארץ את ישועות אלוהינו הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ בזכו ורננו וזמרו זמרו לאדוני בכינור בכינור בכל זמרה בחצות רעם בקול שופר הריעו לפני המלך אדוני רמיימו לו דבל ביושבי בה נהרויים כף יחד הרים ירננו לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ לשפוט תבל בצדק ועמים בני שערים Adonai Malach Yegezu Amim 1953 Moshe ve'Aaron bekohana Ushmuel begorei Shemo Korim el Adonai ve'hu yanem ve'amud anan yedaber aleihem shamru edotav v'chok natan lamo Adonai Eloheinu Atahanidam El Nosei Aita Lahem V'nokem Alalilotam Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu V'ishtachavu lehar kodsho Ki gadosh Adonai Eloheinu Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim Havu l'Adonai gavod v'hoz Havu l'Adonai kevod shemo Yishachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh Kol Adonai alamayim el hagavod Yirim Adonai Ma'im Rabim Kol Adonai B'hakoach Kol Adonai B'hadar Kol Adonai Shover HaRamzim V'yishaver Adonai Et Arzei Almanon V'yarkidem Kemo Hegel Levanon V'Sirion Kemo V'Rehemim Kol Adonai Otev Lavodesh Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh Kol Adonai Yecholel Ayalot Vayecheso V'Yeharot Uv'Heichalo Gulo Merkavot Gulo Mer Kavod Adonai Lamavol Yashav Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Le'amo yitem Adonai Yevarech et Amo Vashalom. Hanna bekoach bekoach Gedulad yemincha yemincha Tatir serura kaver natamcha Sagbeinu tareinu nora Hanna bekoach Gedulad yemincha Tatir serura Tatir serura Kaberinat Rinat Amecha Sagbeinu tareinu nora Hey 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 da Hey 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 da Hey 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 da Hey Page 2156. Lecha dodi hai 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 legrad galai hai bene shabbat negabela shamor v'zachor b'diborecha nishme'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'liferet v'ledel alecha dodi hai 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 legrad gala Shabbat negabela Likra Shabbat lechoven el chagir mekor ha-ha-beracha merosh megedem lezucha sof Maseh b'machshava zechila lecha dodi hai 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 legrad galai hai hai bene shabbat negabela Migdash melech hir melucha Migdash melech hir melucha mitoch hafecha lecha dodi ligrad gala b'nei Shabbat negabela Rav lach shevet b'yemek habacha Rav lach shevet b'yemek habacha ve'hu yachamol ve'hu yachamol halayichem laho lecha dodi ligrad gala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Hidenari me'afar gumi Hidenari me'afar gumi Livshi bigdei Tifartecha me'ay Lecha dodi ligrat galam Penei Shabbat nekabelam Al yad beni shai beit halachmi Al yad beni shai beit halachmi Oh gorba el nafshi Penei Shabbat nekabela Hidorere va ore kumi ore shida beri vo Adonai alayik nigla lecha dodi Gala Penei Shabbat nekabela Lo devoshi velo dikalmi Madish tochachi umatemi Bachechesu anye ami Venim netayir al tila Lecha dodi Ligrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Yulim kisa shosayik v'rachaku kol mevalayik Yasis alayik Elohayik imso chatan al kala Ligrat gala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Aminus molim hifrotzim et Adonai ta'aritzi Al yarish ben partzim nismecha ben nagila Lecha dodi Ligrat gala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'tzah Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat. Magalu Masechaya Me'ora Mekum Achshevozecha Magalu Masechaya Oh, Dieu nous savons de chez Niveron et Miu, la Gini Ashar Adonai, Suri Velo Vlatabo, Adonai Malach, Yud Lavesh, Lavesh Adonai Sitazah. Mikolod Mayim, Mayim Ravim, Adirim, Adirim, Mishbereya. Mikolod Mayim, Mayim Ravim, Adirim, Adirim, Mishbereya. Hadir b'marom, hay hay hay. Hadir b'marom, hay hay hay. Hadir b'marom, Adonai. Hadir b'marom, hay hay hay. Hadir b'marom, hay hay hay. Hadir b'marom, Adonai. Edotecha nemnu meod, levecha nava kodesh, Adonai leorech yamim. This week we observe the Yartzeiten of Didi Moshe, father of Adrian Moshe, Martin Vogelfanger, father of Naomi Jaffe, Marilyn Dvorkin, mother of Michael Dvorkin, Ken Schachter, father of Jacqueline Schachter, Alice Sichel, aunt of Michael Druller, George Stein, father of Jackie Stein, Leatrice Borofsky, mother of Anne Borofsky, Esther Diamant, sister of Gloria Horowitz, Dorothy Koblenz, grandmother of Eleanor Dreyfus, Melvin Priggett, father of Andrea Priggett, Diane Geller, mother of Ed Geller, Ruth Caston, mother of Iris Caston, and Joseph Lenny, father-in-law of Leah Lenny. May their memories and the memories of all those whom we recall be blessings. Mourner's Kaddish on page 24 or 62. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. Vitadar, vitale, vitalal, shmeid kudsha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. So nice to see all of you. It's cozy in here, which is nice. It's nice when you go into shul and it's cozy. So this week is the climax of the Yosef stories, which you could make a pretty strong argument is the climax of the book of Breshit, and I think you could make a very strong argument the moment Vayigash elav Yehuda, when Yehuda finally draws near to his brother and gives this final speech before the man who he doesn't know, or he does know maybe a little bit, is Yosef, is among the most dramatic and moving in the Tanakh. It's certainly right up there. It's an extraordinary moment in the mythical history of our people, and an extraordinary moment in the history of the world, really. It's one of the great stories. And one of the things I love about it is that it is pretty clearly a story about tshuva. That's one of the major themes of the Yosef cycle, is not actually Yosef's journey, which is important, but Yehuda's journey, which is in some ways presented as even more important. And after all, we are Yehudim. We are not Yosefim. We could be. We're not Reuvenim. We could be. Or Shimonim. No, we're Yehudim. And that august distinction, the fact that we are named for Yehuda, is in large part due to the fact that throughout the Yosef stories, Yehuda grows and changes in some very significant ways. He goes from someone who sells his brother into slavery, through difficult encounters with his brother and with his friends and with Tamar, and he comes out the other side a real leader. He's the person who's going to convince Yaakov to let them take Binyamin down. And he says, I promise I'm going to bring him back. And he's the one who's finally going to convince to get through to Yosef, until Yosef has to give up this ruse where he's pretending that Binyamin stole this cup and he's distancing himself from his brothers. And finally, after Yehuda's big speech, finally Yosef can no longer contain himself. And he weeps and he says, get out. And he says, come close to me. I'm your brother Yosef. That's the climax of the story. And it really is all because of Yehuda's tshuva, which is, of course, something that Jews think about a lot. And as I was reading through the stories this year, and I've wondered about this before, it's pretty clear that Yehuda grows. He grows in sort of significant and demonstrable ways. Less clear is whether or not Yosef grows. Less clear is whether or not Yosef grows. And it's a question that has preoccupied me for some years now. I love these stories, as I've shared many times, and I think a lot about them both when they roll around each year, but also at other times in the year. I find myself thinking about Yosef and his brothers. And the question about whether or not Yosef grows is, I think, a very interesting and ultimately very urgent one. And I've often been tempted to say no. In most of the years as I cycle through these stories, I'm often tempted to say no. Yosef is very constant, actually. One of the things I love about the stories is their characterization, and they characterize Yosef very, very consistently. I mean, he grows up a little bit, but he's presented all the way through as very much the same guy. He has these dreams and these visions, which he shares with people readily, and in an unvarnished way, both with his brothers, also with the baker and the cupbearer, right? I mean, he says, listen, God's gonna interpret, and the cupbearer gets a really good interpretation, and the baker gets not such a nice interpretation, and Joseph just kind of gives it to him kind of straight, just like it is. Joseph is not perfect, but he's very constant, he's very stable, he's very faithful. And he's characterized this way all the way through. Which is part of why he makes his brothers bow down, because he saw this vision and he knows it's going to happen. And so finally, what does he tell Yehuda when he can no longer contain himself? Well, first there's this weeping, and they cry over each other. He says, "Come close, I'm your brother Yosef, I'm still alive. Ha'od avicha, is my father still alive?" Right? And then after they get that out of the way, Yosef says something very much in keeping with his character, actually. He says, "Don't feel bad. You sold me into slavery, and I'm guessing you feel guilty about it. Don't. Because you intended it for evil, but God intended it for good." Right? Because, why? Because there's a famine coming, and I had to be down here because I'm good at, economic planning, I guess. And I would have Pharaoh's ear, and I would save you later on. It's all part of God's plan. It's a very Yosef thing to say, really, that it's all part of God's plan. And it's a fair question to ask whether or not this is a comforting thing for him to say, or whether or not this is what his brothers want to hear. I'm not sure. But the thing that struck me about it this time, and this is related to the question of whether Yosef does tshuva, and I really thought about it this way for the first time this time through. Every time you read these stories of something a little new, it's really true. And there is, and this insight I actually owe in large part to Roger Ebert of blessed memory, who, if you have never actually spent time with some of his work, like real time with it, I would encourage you to. He's a movie critic, obviously, as you guys all probably know, but he's really reveals himself on many occasions to be a very deep and incisive thinker. And in one of his reviews of one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Groundhog Day, he wrote 2 reviews of it, actually. He wrote the review when it came out, and then he wrote a review like 10 years later when it was clear that Groundhog Day was a great classic. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And he said the first time he saw it, it was so easy to watch and so lovely, he didn't realize actually how good it was. He thought it was good, and now he thinks it's indisputably great. And one of the things that he thinks is indisputably great about it is the way it presents Bill Murray's character. Has everyone seen the movie? Has anyone not seen the movie? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. You've not seen it? Do you know what it's about? He lives over and over in one day. Yeah. I commend it to him. So the point of the movie is that Bill Murray, who's an asshole, is trapped in this one day over and over and over, and he lives the one day over and over, and he's trapped, and he goes through various stages of despair and different kind of responses to what it would be like to live the same day over and over. And then eventually the theme of the movie is that he basically has to do tshuva and earn his way out. That's basically what the movie is about. And this is a really penetrating insight, I think, that Roger Ebert had into the movie. He said that the reason why it's so compelling and so convincing and so moving is that sometimes, and maybe this is the case with Yehuda in some ways, sometimes at the beginning of the story someone is presented one way, and at the end of the story something happens, and then they change, and there's something else. And Ebert says, and it's a really great read of the movie, he says, actually, Bill Murray's character doesn't change that much. He's sort of an edgy jerk kind of at the beginning of the movie, and he remains that guy. Like, he doesn't lose his edge. He doesn't become a different person. He becomes a slightly better version of the person that he is. And at the beginning of the movie, he's unquestionably a jerk. And at the end of the movie, he is sort of unquestionably a jerk, but he's like a better jerk. And I think that's something like what happens with Yosef. Yosef is unquestionably a jerk to his brothers at the beginning. I mean, I don't know if he deserves what he got, but he's unquestionably a jerk to his brothers. And he's sort of that way all the way through. I mean, there's a ruse with Binyamin. He's sort of not very nice to them the entire time because he's rigid and he's faithful, and he knows what he's going to believe, and he's going to tell you regardless. But finally, Yehuda gets through to him somehow. And then what he does is he says something that's very typically Yosef. He says, don't worry, it was all part of God's plan. It's something that he would really say. But he's saying it now in a way he's trying to be kind to his brothers. He's trying to make them feel, he's trying to do the best he can in this situation where he thinks that they must be wrought, and they are. And I think what's inspiring to me about this is that he's still Yosef, but he's using his Yosefness in a slightly different way, in a slightly more positive way. And I suppose I find that so inspiring because I find that to be a very realistic vision of what tshuva might be. I suppose I think that change is possible, that we really can change. It's a big message of the Machzor anyways, that we can change. I suppose I believe it's possible, but I have to admit I believe it's possible largely as a matter of faith. Because it's a little bit contrary to my experience. At least of myself. It's like, when I was 20, there are things that bothered me, and there are reasons why I was a jerk, and you know what? Here I am, I'm 40, and you know what? A lot of those things are the same. They really are. They really are. What's that? What's that? Wait till I'm 60? Are they still the same? I don't know. But I do think that as we grow and as we age, I think we can become more aware of who we are and how we affect people around us. And I think we can begin to use our personalities and the force of our presence in incrementally more positive ways. And I'm not sure we change, the stuff of who we are, but I think we can change and soften and direct how who we are flows into the world. So that, God willing, it doesn't bring strife, but actually brings a little bit more peace. We'll continue with Baruch Hu on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Adonai Umavir yom umevi laila, umavir ben yom uben laila, Adonai tzevot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamir chaleinu leolam vaed. Baruch Adonai amari haravim. 29 or 65. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו והם נגע יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לשותפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך וישערך והיה אם שמעתי תשמע השם. Adonai Elohechem Emet. You guys repeat after me. Mi kamocha Ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha Nedar ba'kodesh Nora tehillah Osef elef Malechutecha Ra'uvanecha Bokei hayam Lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Ze'eli Anu ve'ameru Adonai imloch Le'olam va'ed Adonai imloch Le'olam va'ed V'nemar kifrana et Yaakov u'galo mi'ad chazak menu baruch at Adonai gal Yisrael Ashkivenu Eloheinu Ushmor tzeitenu vo'enu l'chaim u'shalom etavi ad olam ufros aleinu sukat shalom echa baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim ve'shameru b'nei Yisrael het ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם היי 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 ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם היי היי גישי שן ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ינגדה ויקדש מרבה ימה דברה גירדי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בהגלה בהגלה mevorach le'olam u'nalmei almayah Yibarach v'ishtabach v'varvam v'naseh v'dadar v'daleh v'talach shmed kudsha b'rechu leila min kol birchata b'shirata dush b'chata b'nechemata damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Page 76 or 35. Say shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu. Al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. 47 or 89. Vayechulu hashamayim b'haaretz v'chol tzivam, vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa, vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi, vayikadesh oto, Yibo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasod. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Konei Shamayim v'Haaretz Magen Avod b'dvoro Mechayei Meitim b'ma'amaro Ha'el HaKadosh she'ein kamohu Hameniach le'amo b'yom Shabbat kodsho Kivam ratzah le'aniach lahem Lefanav navod mirav afachad V'nodeh lishmo b'chol yom tamid Me'on habrachot El hodaot Adon HaShalom Mekadesh HaShabbat Umborech Shvi Umeniach b'kedusha le'amedu shnei oneg Zecher l'maseh bereshit Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu Retzeh b'mnuchatenu Kadshenu b'mitzvotecha V'tein chelkeinu b'toratecha Sabenu mituvecha V'samchenu b'shuatecha V'taher libeinu le'ovdecha be'emet V'anchilenu Adonai Eloheinu b'avav ratzon Shabbat kodshecha V'yanuchu v'Yisrael mekadshei shemecha Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat Yikara v'yikara shemei rabba Be'amad yivra ginu devin al nichmal chutei B'chayechonu v'yemechonu v'chayrecho b'Yisrael B'agalav v'zman karev v'imru Amen Yehi shmei rabba mevorach Le'olam u'l'alamei alamayah Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yirah minaseh V'yitarav v'yitalev v'yitalav shmei t'kudsha B'richu le'la mikol b'rchadav v'shirai tzadus B'chadav v'nechemata Damir v'yalma v'imru Amen Yikabel tzodon v'aton d'cho Yisrael Koram yishmaya v'imru Amen Yishlam and Shemaya B'chem aleinu v'al Yisrael v'imru Amen Oseh Shalom v'imrama V'yaseh Shalom aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Naomi, you want to help with Kiddush? I don't know if she does, but she will. She's a good sport. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu V'shavat kodsho b'ava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lemase bereshit Ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh Zecher letziad mitzrayim Kivanu v'charta Ve'otanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim Ve'shabat Be'ahava u'b'ratzon nichaltanu
Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabah.
Amen. Shekawach. Well done. It's juice. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol Lated gedula leotzer breshit Shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot V'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama Shelo sam chelkeinu kahem V'gor aleinu kechol hamonam V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim Lifnei melech malchei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shemar b'yosef Kakatu b'tortach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed V'nemar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad U'shemo Mourner's Kaddish is page 52 or 101. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba Be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael Ba'gala u'v'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav u'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Adam, as the ranking member of the board, it's my honor to invite you to make the announcements.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. This week, the Kiddush is being sponsored by Andrea Priggett in honor of the yahrzeit of her father, Melvin. And we're always looking for additional folks to sponsor Kiddush, so please reach out to Andrea Rothberg if you're interested. Fall adult education, Big Ideas in Liberal Judy is over. Okay.
Adult Ed continues in the winter.
Continues in the winter. Our next First Friday dinner is going to be on January 5th. I know I've seen the notice in the bulletin in the email bulletin that goes out. So please sign up. We'd love to have you. The few that we've had this year have been fantastic. So please do sign up.
And it's a welcome back college students theme. So, which only means they're all welcome back.
Dinner for kids at 5:30, and then services at 6, and then dinner for the older folks after services. Emily Pauly can set you up with registration if you need help. Come read with us. Next book club meeting is Sunday, January 7th, 11 a.m. on Zoom. Perfect Enemy is the suspenseful thriller as it's defined here. It poses an uncomfortable question about Jewish trauma and revenge. So please join. A day of crafting with the PJC and PJ Library Grandparents Group, Sunday, January 14th, 10 to 11:30. Grandparents, parents, children are of all ages invited to spend time making crafts. We still have the going to Israel notice on the announcements. We're still planning to go. Obviously, we are watching things carefully, and we'll probably regroup after the first of the year to see how realistic the trip will be. But we would love, if there are still folks who are interested, you can reach out to me or Mike or the rabbi, and we can fill you in on kind of what we're thinking. So, thank you.
Page 53 or 114. Yigdal Elohim chai ve'yishtabach nimsa ve'hein edel mitziuto echad ve'hein yachid yechudo nelam ve'gam ein sof le'achduto ein lo demot haguf ve'ein no guf lo naharoch elav kedushato Kadmon lechol davar asher nivra Rishon v'hein Reshit leReshito Hino Adon Olam v'chol notzar yoreh gedulato malchuto shafa nevuato netano el anshe segulato netifarto lo kam beYisrael kemosheod navi umabid et munato Torah temet natan le'amoel al yad v'yonem an beito lo yachalifa hela v'lo yamir dato le'olamim le'zulato sofer v'yodea setaharenu Mabid lesok davar bevchad mato Gomel leish chesed kemifalo Noten lerasha rak rishato Yishlach leketz yamim mishichenu Liktor mechakek et Yeshuato Metim yechayel berov chasto Baruch adei Hashem tilato Metim yechayel berov chasto Baruch adei Hashem tilato. Good Shabbos. Yasher koach to Naomi for Kiddush. Naomi's bat mitzvah is coming up. We're very excited. Very excited. All you do is No, I mean, we're gonna go back to business school on the second, so we gotta go back. They're not open.
Do space, have some space, you can use that.
That's a really.
I think you need to show this.
It is dry. The kids is a fire.
That's what our kids like. Oh, really? Like, so yeah, it's really
So I have the people that but I can split it.
Dennis put together a whole website.
All right.
I have thoughts.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
But it doesn't make sense. I know that around
More of them the better. I think this is so I think like if you look at the let's go to really? Just reported like you're not those things.
Oh, okay.
Which is not good. You know what? So keeps rallying.
You're past your prime. Past your prime. Anyway, when she's getting better, which is great, and he's been there, he's been sitting on her sofa for the last 4 or 5 days. And he'll be here again tonight, and really until he leaves, and we don't know when it's gonna be, because his sister who lives there doesn't celebrate the Hanukkah. She's basically, I don't know if we were talking about.
They don't give you reading. So I
Those are Judaism, and then they have the son. Okay, okay. Yes. Oh, man, that would be real bad.
Yeah, that was close.
Have you ever done that? I did that once, I was like on the side.
Oh.
I was young. I've done that.
Man.
I was young then.
You left your bag.
that situating Judaism, presenting Judaism as a jewel of the Western canon, is also a little strange. I mean, Judaism is an Eastern tradition. Well, Fateh Mizrach Kadima.
Okay.
Liebe Mizrach, Alibe Mizrach, Liebe Mizrach, Liebe Selva Marav. I am in the East. My heart, my heart is in the East, and I am the end of the West.
Don't you think that's a little literal though?
No, I don't. I think that the Western tradition is largely I think that's what people talk about. Western
Look, Diane, it's like, I want more. What? You're back from war. Yes, I need more sun. Yeah, exactly. I